Hello. Let me just throw this into Facebook really quickly. Sorry to be late. Let me see. Make sure this is on. A1 vacuum YouTube. Let me grab. Oh, let's go. Facebook. It's hard when your IT guy isn't here. Patrick's in Salt Lake with Violet right now. So I have to be a big girl and do everything myself. Let me go. More groups. Give me just one more minute and then we'll get started. Here we go. Hi, Miss Pamela. Okay, I'm ready. I was just adding the link to Facebook. Hi everyone. I've been racing around this morning. I had to go to my appointment. Was desperate to ask you what camera arm you're using. So, Pam, send me an email and I'll send you a link. But it's I want to say, what is it called? It's like the 5-foot articulating. It's from Heron, Heron. And if you send me an email, I'll send you a link. But yeah. So I mean, it's a pretty good arm. I have probably have 8 of them. I have them like all over my sewing room. So, but when you showed it on the live stream, right? Colleen, if you do want it, get it now because they, so the embellishment kits and the design, those come from, so the book, although I wire bound this book, it doesn't come like this. So that comes from Kimberbell. Like we purchase them from Kimberbell and sell them to you. The fabric kits are put together by Maywood Fabrics, by E.E. Shank. And they're the distributor of Maywood Fabrics, which makes Kimberbell fabrics. And they're completely sold out of them. At this point, I have 2 left in the store. And once I sell those, I won't have them anymore. Not like you can't get them online someplace. You might be able to find them from another retailer. But I don't think they're going to be remaking those fabric kits. So I've got 2 more if you want them. I would go ahead and get it if you're thinking about doing it. What I love about this is and I finally found the top part. I couldn't find it. So mine's not totally sewn together, but it's large. I like that. It's, I think the final measurements are 20 inches by 60 inches. And you just leave it up all year and just change out your embellishments. And I think that's kind of clever and fun. So, and if it goes with your decor or if it's your style, that's an added bonus. I'm going to do the borders, and I've been thinking about them, but I'm not totally planned. I brought home this hoop. Like, this is my hoop, but I've had it at the store, and quite honestly, I haven't used it. But I'm going to use it today because one of the things I struggle with is with rehooping. I struggle with getting my fabric back where it's supposed to be. So, I think it's by 60 inches, isn't it? Which I was a little confused because I was looking at this and our borders are going to be Our borders are going to be 4 2.5 by width of fabric. Skip this step if block by block quilting was done previously on the borders. Well, we're going to do block by block. So I think I'm going to sew 2 of these together because you need it to be a little bit longer. And then also, where are my block by block instructions though? Seasonal embellishments, borders. Here we go. Okay, borders. Apply fusible backing to the border strips if desired. I'm not going to do that because I haven't done it yet. And I'm just going to leave it. It'll be fine. And you're going to sew 3 inches by width of fabric border strips together end to end. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I am going to sew, you can see their little join here and they did it up on the top. I'm going to cut one of my border strips in half. So I'm going to be doing 3 at a time. And I'm going to cut one in half and I'll sew it to one of each of these. And then I'll do this one together and then I'll cut it in half. So I'll have the top and the bottom. Hope this isn't too confusing. I am planning this on the fly in my head, or else I've been, planning it in my head for the past couple of days. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it today. Hang on, let me grab my stuff. Here it is. And then I was thinking, should I have just kept it all on one piece of fabric? I like to do that because then you don't have to be careful about laying it down. You just kind of fold your fabric down. Like, what if I had just kept my fabric and I brought yardage home to do it? But I was like, I think this will be good. I'm going to use my projector. I'm going to do a whole bunch of stuff. But I thought that would be a good way to show you. So today's name of today's sew along is called On the Fly. Make it up as you go. Don't expect too much. But if you like it, you can do it this way too. But I'm going to take one of these. So there's one for the left, one for the right. And I'm going to sew it I'm going to cut this other one in half. And we're not even going to need that much, but I'll just cut it in half so I have plenty of fabric. I don't have anything pre-prepped. I'm like 2/3 of the way into my radiation, and I feel like I'm starting to feel it. I spent all day yesterday in bed. Kai and I went on a Mother's Day hike, and when Patrick's home, he wakes up. I don't know about you guys, but growing up, my dad wouldn't let me sleep in. So on the weekends, we get up, have to like pick weeds, do something like that. Builds character, no big deal, right? So, but I like to let my kids sleep in now. Like, not all the time, but he's been getting up and like getting the kids up, which they need to. I am not a tiger mom. That is not me. So yesterday I knew he had gone out to try to look for the Northern Lights, and he didn't get home until late. I heard him get home and I was like, oh my baby, I need to let him sleep in. So I let him sleep in. Well, it was hot here yesterday. Let me get into sewing so I can go ahead and prep these and put them together. So all I did is I left this strip with the fabric because you had to cut 4 of them. So I'm taking, I'm going to do this one. I'm leaving this all as one piece. I'm going to quilt it and then I'll cut it in half and add it. This piece and this piece, I took the 4th one and cut it in half, and I'm going to sew it onto these. So I'm going to quilt 3 at a time, which is kind of perfect for that 10 by 10 quilt. So yesterday, hang on, I want to see the camera. I want to see comments if anyone has any questions. Here we go. We didn't get out until late. It was hot yesterday. I had no idea it was going to be that hot. I'm just going to do a straight center stitch. I like to piece at 2.0. secretly, I like to piece at 1.8, but I'll do 2.0. That's what baby lock machines and embroidery machines are set to piece at. I think Genomi's are they 1.8? I forget. So I love my walking foot with the 1/4 inch flange. And I'm going to set it up to auto pivot. I'm going to go ahead and lay these down. I like to overlap mine a little bit so I have a little corner here that I can work with. And what's really nice is this fabric is has like diagonals on it, so you can use that to line up. But don't forget, in sewing on your Solaris and Luminaire, you can turn on your projector. So I'll just turn on my projector. I could do my guideline markers, but I'm just going to project that stitch. And blue. I usually do red. So you can change your color right here. I don't know why mine's blue. I like red. I feel like that stands out the most. That doesn't look red. I'm just going to go with it. I think because I have the outline around it. And you can pin if you want. Whoops. Let's take that 1/4 inch flange off. We don't need that one right now. So Kai and I do this walk. We go out when it starts to get really hot. And I like this walk. It's like on top of this like plateau, but there's no shade. And I swear by the time I was done, I was like, oh my God, I think I have heat stroke. I don't even know if I can make it to the car. I was like, Kai, you need to drive. When we got there, I was like, you need to drive. Okay, I'm threaded up. I start with my needle down. What is the muslin that you use if I want a bolt? Is shipping super expensive? I want to say shipping's probably, depending on where you are, Misty, and I can't remember where you are. So I'm not firing on all cylinders today. I got home from that walk. I was like, oh my God, am I even going to make it? And then I just climbed into bed, and I was in bed all day yesterday. I got up. I finally felt a little bit better. So the guideline marker is not long enough to shoot all the way here, but I can kind of eyeball it a little bit. And once you get close to that corner, there's my guideline marker. My eye is staying on that guideline marker, and I'm not looking at anything else. I'm not looking at my needle. I'm not looking at my foot. I'm just focusing on that guide. See how I'm shifting it? That it just stays in that corner. So use your projector when you're sewing. There's so many great times to use your projector. Okay, short end to one of the long ends. Let me grab another long one. Where's my other shorty? Did I just sew my two shorties together? Oh my God. This is the kind of day it's gonna be. Okay, let's rip out stitches. This is great because I love demoing all of my little tools I have for ripping out stitches. This is a perfect time for my Kai seam ripper if I can find it. Where are you? Ooh. I don't know where it is. I'm just going to use this one. Okay. So, oh my God. This is really funny. I am not just don't be too aggressive with these, and then you can just kind of touch it to the, you don't have to be as careful. Okay, here are my two shorties. This is my width of fabric that I cut in half. You want to grab one shorty and one intact one that is totally width of fabric. There we go. We are going to do right side to right side, and let's try that one more time. I have selvage here, so I'm just going to kind of make sure that is not in the picture. How about right side to right side? I was hoping I could just keep working and as normal. I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know. Okay, needle down. I like to start with my needle down. This is going to have to be deleted as soon as I'm done. Delete. Remember, you can kind of hold it in place until you like get going. And I kind of eyeball it a little bit until I get my guideline all the way across. I'll sew a couple stitches off. You don't want to sew with a lot of stitches off because you want fabric in between your foot and your feed dog so it doesn't like cut up your feed dogs. Oh, Misty, I don't even know. Did I even finish answering your question? So I usually do a bolt of muslin. It usually comes 15 yards. It's $10.99 a yard. When you buy a whole bolt, I do 30% off. And shippings, I'd say, depending on where you are. If you're on the West Coast, I'd say like 15 bucks. If you're on the East Coast, if you're okay with snail mail, we can usually do it for about like 20, maybe a little over 20. But you know what I find worth it is you just don't know what kind of muslin you're going to get, right? So I know that this is good stuff. I just love the way it feels, and although I did get one bolt, that 45-inch, that was like pretty awful. Although I was going to use it, I was like, I'll just use it all because when it washed up, it was beautiful. And then I thought, well, maybe it's okay. It's like stiff. So if you want something that's a little stiffer, that 45-inch is like the best. I said to myself, maybe the stiffness is good because it's more body and it'll hold better. So, all right, these two are done. Let's go ahead and trim, and then we're going to get ready to hoop up. And then what I'm excited about is I'm excited about having the dreaded borders done. If you want to trim these precisely, you can. I never do. Oh, it was Christy. I'm sorry. Christy asked the question. Good morning from Tennessee. I never really worry about the it being a 1/4 inch, although I am going to turn my iron on so I can press that even. I just kind of guesstimate. And I was going to take mine. They had the join seam up at the top. I was going to take mine and put it more towards the bottom. Okay, let's press these open. Here's the hoop I'm going to use. So I'm going to use the muslin, and I'm going to use the 10.5 or the 10-inch by 10-inch sashing hoop. Here are the little magnets that are going to stay on that you're going to just pull all the way up. So I'm excited to try that. Did they sew that together, mitered? They didn't. They sewed theirs together completely flat. Do you see that? Let me look at mine. I'm going to leave mine just mitered. And it'll be down towards the bottom. I wonder if flat is, did they sew flat? And they didn't. I was like, did they sew flat and match? I could see doing that, right? Doing it flat and matching. But you can totally see that join. I wonder if I should have sewed it flat and matchy-matchy. Should we do it one more time and do that? So you can have that like perfect join. I'm going to just go with it. It'll be fine. Okay, so you have options there. If you're like just watching and you're going to do this later, they did it just they just sewed it together like this, and I sewed it mitered. I wonder if we should have done it like that. What do you think? Are we gonna like, that does look pretty bad, huh? Okay, one more time. You are getting real life, no prep, just doing it in front of you. So I hope you're okay with this. This will be fine too if you did do it with me just now, because you have plenty of fabric. There we go. We'll do one more time. Okay, long end. I'm just going to go in the opposite one. And let's see how we do this. Maybe what I'll do is I'll fold it back right where, and have to, there we go. Right where I find something. I think maybe it is less distracting. And I don't know if you're going to get that perfect join. I'm just working it up. It might not be completely perfect, but I think you could get it pretty close. Let's see if this one's better. This side. Come in and from this side is better. Because this one's a little offset. Let's see if this little halfer matches better. I think that's so much better than having to like look for, this is like the Kai seam rippers that we have. So much easier than having to look for like each little stitch and picking it up. So okay, so the only issue with this is it's a little bit offset from this one. Oh, that's pretty good, this one. Actually, this side matches really, really well. Okay, here we go. This one totally matches. I'm going to sew on that line. And we'll do the best we can. I'm not concerned about it being absolutely perfect. This is the time for wonder clips. Okay, let's try that. And I just did a little finger press there. I'm going to just sew down that line. I'm not taking the camera over. I'm just going to sew. I'll be right back. Let's see if that's better and less distracting. And, well, I wasn't quite on there, but I think that is going to be better and less distracting. Mine's not perfect. I don't know why it doesn't look better because I'd folded it, but I'm going to leave that one, and I do think that's going to be less distracting than the miter join. Oh, I can see because I'm not quite on it. But you know what? I'm going to go with that one. This is when I just go good enough. Sometimes I am a good enough girl. Sometimes I'm like, want it perfect, and sometimes I'm good enough. I could have been better. Okay, let me make sure I have a long one and the halfer. Here's my halfer. And let's see if there's any way to get this joined better. And I'll mark it this time. I like to go there near the middle. Let's see if this side is better. Center. This one's not much better, but I think that's okay. This one kind of matches. Let's see if we go center. You know, these, it's just not cut the same, so I don't think I'm going to get any. Ooh, that one looks okay. I'm going to try and join these, the bolder lines. Get those to like kind of meet a little bit. And that looks okay. I'm off a little bit here, but did you know you were going to spend so much time just trying to get this to match? All right, I'm going to clip and I'm going to mark with a friction pen too because I couldn't quite see it when I was sewing. Slow going this morning. Sorry. Okay. I'll take you with me this time. What's everyone working on? Are you guys like all ready and you're like, well, I was going to work on my borders, but I'm waiting. Now you see the very imperfect process. And this isn't going to be perfect either, just because this stripe wasn't cut exactly the way the other one was, or the plaids aren't perfectly aligned, but it'll still look okay. Oh, Texas. I think, Christy, it'll probably be, I'd say $20 on the high end to get it there. Oh yeah, not bad, right? That one actually I think looks way better than the other one. All right, I'm gonna press this open. We lost a little bit of length, so good thing we had plenty. We should have plenty of length. That's when it's nice to have more than not enough, right? Okay, here are my long strips. Doesn't look perfect, but it looks okay. I'm going to start with, you want to start with, like, I'm going to put mine down at the bottom. Let's make sure it's down at the bottom for both of them. And it is. I have my shorties down at the bottom for both of these. And then the other one, I'm just going to work on this because this should be enough. Oh, shoot. Is this going to be enough? The top part is, this is going to be 20 inches. So this should be enough. Let me measure it. It should be like 22, right? We got 21 inches. So I think we're going to be fine with this. And I'm just going to go ahead and just do it as one piece. So now we're going to be working on three strips. This one over here is the one that I'm going to cut in half. That's going to be the top and the bottom. Let's go ahead and hoop. So Michelle's been the one teaching the upgrade classes with these sashing hoops. I stopped at the store this morning to get the little thing that pries this up. Hang on, here it is. All right. Here's my little slider on her. Hang on. Let's get the camera back here. Maybe you'll have a better angle. Let's go ahead and get these. Ooh, that makes it really easy. Otherwise, I think these are tough to get off. So make sure you use this tool. You don't want to struggle, right? Okay. Your muslin, you want a little bit bigger than the hoop. This one's pretty big, but I think you could go, for this hoop, I would say, I'm measuring from 10 inches. Oh yeah, 15.5 inches. I think I would go 15.5. This is, oh, it's 16. So 16 if you don't feel like struggling. But you know me, I'm always trying to like save. All right. And you can peek under here. Is it 2 big ones? And you're going to have an arrow right here. Arrow points down. That tells you that that goes in towards the hoop. Must be a big and a little. Okay. And I think we want the little one here. The big one, take the big ones off and pull it up, right? Okay. So we're going to do big one on top, little one on the bottom. Make sure you just keep this smooth. Okay, and we'll do the little. I think it's worth it to just have the extra fabric here. Is that on all the way? So that you can kind of pull it over and have your fingers be out of the way too. Oop. It's not totally on. Okay, we're hooped and ready to go. Let's put in our design. As far as the batting, I thought I would just cut my batting like 10 inches. I just left it all in one piece. I'm going to leave it like that. I don't even think I'm going to trim it out. I think when I just trim it, I'm just going to trim it. Or should I cut it down? Let me see. I didn't even trim them at this point. I thought I would just lay it down all in one piece. If you want to, though, I think the border design is going to be 2 inches. So you would want 2 inches of your batting. I can't decide what to do. Because this is pretty low loft. I really don't care if this is going to be in the seam, although we could lay down our pieces and let's just try it. I left this all in one piece. I think I'm just going to try it. And then if that really bothers you, you know, you can go ahead and trim everything out. But I'm just going to try and lay it down, and I'm going to leave it all in one piece. One big piece. Because hopefully we're just going to be able to scoot it up. Okay. Remember, it's my first time doing it this way, so hopefully it works out. It might be a little bit of experimentation. I'm always trying something to make it easier for all of us. I'm going to put on my embroidery foot. Let me go ahead and take this off. Should never be loose enough for you to undo by hand. You should always have to use a screwdriver, or else that means it's going to shake off in the middle of your embroidery, and that's never any fun. Hand tighten, and then use your screwdriver again. Let's go ahead and switch to the embroidery part of our machine. You're just going to touch the home button. And I'm going to go into embroidery. Carriage is going to move. There's the poppy we're going to be working on. Super excited about that. I'm going to, quilting through the seasons. It's moved. And we're doing background quilting. And I'm doing border. And the border we're doing, embroidery files. I only put my PES on here. I'm going to be doing the 2-inch by 10-inch. And so depending on what hoop you're using, like if you're going to use your 9.5 by 14, you can do this. If you do your 9.5 by 14, I think you could do, 4 in a row. I was going to do this in my, the 2 by 10s in the 6 by 10, but we're going to try it this way and see how it goes. Set it. I'm going to go to my settings button. Let's choose the right hoop. Let me see. Okay. I want to see if it goes back, because sometimes it'll change your speed, but this one, it lets you stitch at 1,050 stitches per minute. Just be aware of that, and it's not a bad thing. It's just going to do whatever's safest for your machine. So sometimes it does change the speed when you're using those magnetic hoops. Okay. I'm going to take that, edit, move. I'm just going to scoot it with my finger. I'm going to scoot it up, and then I'm going to move it all the way left. Let's add another one. Oh yeah, because do we even need... Look at me. I'm trying to save my muslin over here. Don't need to do that. Okay, let's just leave it right there. I'm going to go this button right here where you can just add. Instead of having to go add, look for it, go to the folder, one button you push, and then we have our next design. Move. The little circle makes it center, and I'm just going to scoot it up. And if we're doing these all at the same time, you do want them all at the same spot. So I'm going to scoot that all the way up. This one more click. Yeah, that looks perfect. Okay, we're going to add one more. That one, I'm going to move. Let's scoot it all the way to the right. Give ourselves a little bit of room, and let's scoot it up. And that looks perfect. So there's our 3 at a time, and I think we'll probably have to do maybe 5 hoopings. So let's go ahead and give it a go. I'm going to say okay, embroidery. And we can do our color grouping here. So it's going to do all the same steps at once. Right now it's repeating it 3 times. I'm going to touch layout, and this is your color grouping. The only time you can't color group is if the red outlines overlap, your designs overlap, or it ruins the integrity of the design. So now it's going to do my placement, my batting, my fabric placement, my fabric tack down, and then the quilting. And I have a white bobbin in. That's ready to go. Let me go ahead and slide this on. Batting's kind of gummy, so I think it's just going to stick. I'm not going to spray it down. I would if I was doing like individual little pieces. Let's get it under there. You have to kind of scoot it. I just did it right there under the corner. Okay, placement line for the battings is what's going to happen first. Let me put in a color I can see. And the color it's recommending later is going to be cashmere. But we are going to have some cut lines. I'm going to go ahead and put in, what's this? Let's do pink lemonade. It's almost summertime. Who doesn't love lemonade? I've been trying to eat healthier, guys, and it is hard. It's really, really like lemonade. Like just hearing that makes me want a big sugary lemonade. Okay, here's placement line for your batting. I think we're going to trim them down, what, 2.5? And I don't know if you've noticed, but they've added that, so these are 2, so they're going to be 2.5. Okay, maybe I'll see how indecisive I am. Maybe I will cut them down. Hang on, I'm going to trim them down 2.5. Or 2. Your strip should be 2 inches. Make them long. Hang on, I'll be right there. I am trimming these down. Okay. It's up to you. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to spray my my batting when I do this, and then put it down the middle of my my border strip, and then just do a placement for the border strip. They're doing it differently now. They're making the border strips and the filler blocks a little bit bigger, and I really, really like that. So what I'm going to do is I did decide to just trim this down. I'm going to just go ahead and spray it down. I'm going to use my big spray box. I have my spray tent, but when I'm doing big stuff like this, I do have a spray box. It's an old Snap Hoop spray box. I don't know if you guys had seen my other spray box. I had it for years and years. It was like the love of my life spray box, and it was so disgusting. I'm sure it grossed people out. And Momo trampled it, so I finally got rid of it. Okay, here's my big old spray box. Look how new it is. Because I rarely use it. Okay, you have a right and a wrong side of your batting. This is the wrong side, the nubbier side. And that's what you want to go down. So I'm going to turn these over. I'm not going to be able to spray all of it right now, but I'll spray a little bit of it. So I figured we could do this, get this done, and then if we have time, we'll work on some embellishments. Okay, here's my favorite spray, Ganol KK 100. It's just what I use. You can use whatever you see fit. But I love this because I know it works and it's nice and sticky. I'm just going to go a little bit over. And I cut mine a little bit wide. I probably cut mine 2 1/8. Oh my God, I'm going to be so excited just to have these done. I think what we'll do is, I'm trying to think, like, can we keep these totally on? Because I don't know if I'll have a full 10 inches if I leave the bottoms on. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe we put them on, pull them up, and put another set on. Okay, just talking it through in my head. Okay, we also need to do, I think you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this, and I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to do the tack down. So I'm not going to do the placement line for this because this is going to be a little bit bigger. So let me go ahead and spray this. Make sure you have it so the join is going to be towards the bottom and not the top. And just put an equal amount. Here, I'm going to move this over so I'm not hitting it. You have an equal amount. Just kind of center it. Whoops! Did you see that? I just pulled it right off. There's a lot. I have done these so many different ways, just so you know. I'm just going to peek under here and just make sure I have an equal amount on either side. Yeah, that looks good. I didn't even press. I know that's killing some of you. Press it if you want to. Was that painful to watch? I think it was for some of you. Hang on, I'm checking your chat. I don't know if anyone has said anything after Christy, so mine didn't update. Maybe we're just quiet today. Don't go crazy with your spray. Just enough to keep it down, though. I can kind of feel it and see it underneath. There's 1, 2, and I have one more. Here's my last one. Watching. Okay, last one. Alrighty. What I'm interested in is seeing how I advance it. Okay, we're gonna skip some steps now. So this is the tack down. I did cut my batting to size after I decided. That's the placement for the background fabric. I didn't do that. I just centered my strips. You have, if they didn't, they added a 1/2 inch. So they added a 1/2 inch. Otherwise, you'd have to do that right here. For some of the other ones, like the older ones, you definitely want to do that placement stitch for the background fabric. And then this is going to be the tack down. We are going to do the tack down so it stays in place. And then we're going to do the quilting. Okay, tack down. So let's go there. Placement. So we want this second orange. I'm just going to go here where you can go forward and backward stitches. If you didn't see it, it was this button right here. And I'm just going to touch in here in the blue. On the Luminaire and Solaris, you can do that. And I'm still in the blue. I'm going to forward. Otherwise, I would have had to hit it 4 times through here or 4 times through the blue. Now I'm on the tack down. I can see it. Let's go ahead and do it. And as it stitches, I'm going to just lay my hand down gently on here and smooth everything. Make sure everything stays nice and flat, doesn't get puckered, and it doesn't push. I'm going to kind of tickle it from the back and kind of push my fabric out. Sometimes it can take that fabric and it can push it into the left. So I just like to kind of do this. Just don't get your finger under that needle. There we go. Again, I'm just going to kind of push out with my fingers. And you can just keep this all in one piece. You can keep it all in one piece because you're going to have to trim it right outside that tack down line anyways. I think we trim out, is it a 1/4 inch on either side of that tack down, or maybe it's an 1/8 of an inch. I can't remember. And after we do this, we're going to do the quilting stitch, and then we're going to advance it. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to change out my thread. I like to show this too. When I change out my thread, all that I do, I take it out of here, I unthread it to right here, and it comes right out. As long as your foot's open. Not if your foot's closed, then the tension's closed here. So just make sure your foot's open, unthread it to right here, and just pull it out. You do not have to cut it and pull it from the needle. Okay, we want cashmere. We're going to do the quilting now. This is the best part. Whoop, where's my coffee? It's all the way across the room. So because I slept all day, I didn't sleep all day, but I came back from that hike, and then I probably slept like 3 or 4 hours. I couldn't sleep last night. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Beautiful. Love it. I did watch. Oh yeah, right? I usually try not to nap because then it usually affects my sleep in the evening. But I just couldn't even keep my eyes open during the day yesterday. But when my eyes were open, I fell asleep in the middle of it. I watched that movie, that new movie, The Idea of You, with Anne Hathaway. No, is Anne Hathaway, and I don't know the name of the little boy, but she plays this 40-year-old divorcee that falls in love with like a 24-year-old pop star. It was so fun. After I watched it, I texted one of my girlfriends. I was like, "You have to watch this movie." It was just fun to watch. Being a cougar myself, not quite a cougar with that much of an age difference. For me and Patrick, it's 2.5 years. But I just thought the movie was like so funny, and you know, you always love like a semi-happy ending or a complete happy ending. I'm excited to advance my fabric. And then, when I couldn't sleep at like midnight, I put on, it was called, I think it was called Blackwater. And it was it was about the DuPont, like, pollution scandal. Like Teflon. It was about Teflon. And I just remember in the 90s, was it in the 90s or was it in the 2000s where Patrick kept saying, we have to not use Teflon anymore. So I just didn't realize how bad it was. That was a great movie too. It had Mark, is it Ruffalo? Mark Ruffalo and Anne Hathaway again. But I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but I love Mark Ruffalo. I don't know if any of you saw that movie with Emma Stone. Is it Poor Little Creatures? And he's in it, and he is so funny. Oh, so Susan asked, her machine went in for a checkup. Is 4 million stitches in a year a lot? Do you have a problem? Our recommendation at the shop is to do your service about every 3 million stitches if you're on a combo machine, about 1 million stitches if you're on just a regular sewing machine. I think 3 million, Susan, is pretty moderate. I gotta be honest with you. Are you, like, people that sew with us and do projects with us are heavy stitchers. I think because we always have a project going on, and we're making you do this project and that project. If you're a Kimberbell fan and you're doing a lot of Kimberbell projects, I think that's like pretty moderate, like kind of in the pocket. I do probably, I'd say I'm more in the range of like 8 million. But I also have my 10 needle, and I'm getting ready to do the Laura Birch tiling scene on my 10 needle. So, I'd say anywhere between 2 to 8 million we see a lot of. I have a customer, she got her machine, she did 22 million stitches in 6 months. I have no idea what she was stitching, but 22 million stitches. So, I'd say you're like kind of in the pocket. Oh no, am I freezing? Am I freezing for you guys? Let me look. Okay, this rehooping is going to be our grand experiment today, because these are called sashing frames, and I think they are made so that you can just pull the fabric up so it stays in position. How many of you got to see the Northern Lights? No northern lights for you, April? I think are you in North Kakalaki? I couldn't believe you could see him here in Reno. Kai went out on Saturday night. I'd worked all day and I stayed a little bit late because I was trying to get out mini quilts. And by the time I got home, I picked up dinner and I got home and we ate. And then he was like, let's go. But it was like, he wanted to go out at like 10 o'clock and I was like, I just can't do it. I just didn't have the energy. So I didn't go, and poor little Kai drove around with his friend. And then I think people saw them like maybe around 11:30 or something here in Reno. So you just had to catch it at the right time. I just think that's amazing. Yay! Okay, one hooping down. Here's the moment of truth. All right, this is what I'm going to do. Taking my hoop off the machine, leaving my design on the screen. I'm going to take off all the magnets except for these two, because then I'm going to just pull it up. So let's take these. And take off the bottom ones too. Hopefully you could see that and you weren't just seeing my shoulders. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to turn this the other direction. I'm going to unplug this cord so I don't hit that. Turn it this way. Now I'm just going to pull it towards me. I know this looks like a mess, but here we go. I'm going to use my third hand, which I call my belly. And I'm going to hold my belly here and I'm just going to pull it up. Okay, here we go. Sorry, you might not see this. I'm going to bring it more towards me. I'm using my hip. I think what I got to do now is I need to put on the bottom ones and then pull those up and then put these back on. But that should keep it right in a row, because I struggle. Like getting it all lined up later is not easy. All right, so I want to make sure this is even. Oh my God, did you see that? I just pushed it right off. Okay, you weren't supposed to do that, but okay, hang on, because I need this to be taut again. I was trying to get it up as high as I could. Let me just get this taut. Maybe that was as taut as it could be. Okay, is that as high as it can go? I'm going to push that and that. All right, a little bit of a fail, but that's okay. I'm going to make sure this is in line. I don't want it too askew. All right, I'm going to take these off because I have to scoot it up a little bit more. Let's pull this all down. Make it look pretty. And let's scoot it up a little bit more. And then we should be ready. I know this looks like a big old mess. These are much harder to scoot up. And I need them up because I need that 2 inches here. Maybe if I move them like this with the fabric. Okay, I got it. I just had to... How do I know that I have it up enough? Because I want it to... Oh. Okay, so I'm learning right now. So what I'm seeing is like there's my magnet right here, the very top of it. And I do have to go up a little bit more. So I'm just trying to figure out, how do I know what's far enough? Do I have to mark the hoop? I'm pulling it up. There. Okay, I'm going to just try it and see if that's up far enough. And then I'll just have to experiment, right? So I'm all the way up on this side, but I'm not all the way up on this side. Okay, I'm all the way up on that side too. All right. I think I have to go up a little further. I don't know, for me, I don't know where my no-sew starts, and that's what I'm kind of trying to check out right now. Like, where is my no-sew? So I'll just put this on for now, and we'll see how we're doing. I know this should be in line, right? Because I have a feeling that is going to be too high, because my magnets are right there. I'm going to go ahead and put a magnet down on the bottom. I'm not going to put all my magnets in because I have a feeling I'm going to have to adjust them. And you're seeing some real life, this is how we figure it out. Experimentation. And then I'll have a better idea. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to put it on like this. I'm not putting all my magnets on. I'm going to put this on the machine because I have some learning to do with this hoop. Still in the layout page because that's where you end. When you finish stitching on your luminaire, you will be on the layout page, ready to stitch. I'm going to say okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn on the projector. So I've got to get rid of this just by saying okay. We're still on the layout page. You do have to be at stitch 0 to use any of these features. So I'm at 0. I'm just going to turn on the projector. Your projector's always going to come in the center, and it's always about 3 inches by 5 inches. It's never any bigger than that. You move your projector. I'm going to let you see both at the same time. Here's my projector right here, and here it is on my screen. Move your projector with your finger. Oh, and look, I do have room down here, so I don't have to be completely perfect. All right, there's the top of my design. So I'm way off. I need to be kind of near, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this design and I'm going to move it to the center, and that way I have a little bit of room to move everything up and down. So I'm just going to touch my center button. When you're in your layout screen, it moves everything together. Everything is combined. If I'm in my edit screen, the previous screen, if I use my move buttons, it's only going to move one individually unless you group them. But on the layout screen, I should be able to just, and everything moved all together. Okay? So now I get it. Now I know how to hoop. Because I'm going to be kind of up by the I'm kind of I think the magnet, top of the magnet, and the bottom one is gonna kind of be my embroidery field. Okay. Whoops. Can't just slide it off like that. Let me see. I'm just gonna take this off and then be able to slide it off. I wonder if I can get it up and over that. Let me see if I can move. Can I fit over that bridge? Yes. Okay. That can run these hoops. I think I'm okay with the fact that my machine can run these hoops. And I had room left and right. Like if I did have to just start over and rehoop, I could totally rehoop. What these sashing hoops give you is they give you, as you can see, a super, super snug, tight hooping. So I need to kind of pop this down a little bit. Oh, let me get this bottom one off. There we go. And you know what? I'm just going to start over. I'm just going to make sure I'm kind of centered. And I make sure this is near the top of my magnet, and it is. There's my magnet. And then I'll just use my projector, and we might have to snug it over to the left or the right the tiniest bit. Or up and down. I've got some room. I've got room. It's okay. I'm going to just check that. Whoops. Look at your arrows. Arrows in. I wonder if you have to use all of those. Like, do I have to use all of them? I'm going to try not to. This morning, hopefully Patrick's not listening. I was so tired. And you know Patrick's been getting up with the dogs because he's so good to me. Anyways, I thought I heard what was the sound of the dogs chewing on their appropriate chew toys. And then I started going, wait a minute. That doesn't sound quite right. So I ran downstairs and they had pulled off, like sometimes we keep like takeout containers, like the black ones, and we keep those containers and we use, I don't know if I can get this on with that top magnet on. I'm going to have to take it off. And so they were playing tug of war with it. They were having so much fun with inappropriate stuff. And they're just naughty. What am I going to say? Oh, look. Looks so good, right? You can kind of see, I just have to scoot it over a little bit. We're in the pocket. So I'm just going to go, I love the projector. So I am going to scoot my design. Once you get your design where you want, Then you use the arrows on your screen to move your design. Move your projector with your finger. Move the design with your arrows. Oh my God, they'd made such a mess. Good thing we have some room, right? There we go. Does that look pretty good? One more. I think that the pink line goes with the yellow line. Let's make a couple more. And push it down because sometimes your projector doesn't compensate for the thickness of your fabric. Let's take a peek over here. So you're just going to go ahead and move it with your finger. I think we could go down just a tad. Let's see if that makes this one okay. And let's look at this one. This one is too high up. So I think I'm a little bit askew. So we could tilt it, but I'm just gonna, this one needs to come down a little bit and this one needs to go up a little bit. There we go. Remember, you're the boss. You can manipulate your fabric. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And perfect. I'm just looking at where they're joining right here, and they're all perfect now. Okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and flip these back, and we are going to do our batting placement line. And this will get easier and easier as we go because the fabric won't be in the way as much. It'll just be, and make sure you fluff it in the back. Make sure it's fluffed in the back. And so what I learned from that hooping is I think I'm just going to take off my my sashing hoops and I'm just going to kind of pull it down. I'm going to just take it off, center it, and then I'm just going to use my projector. All right, let's come on in here. I'm going to say okay. And first thing it wants to do is it wants to do the placement line. I'm just going to leave my, you know what? No, I'm going to put my pink in. I'm going to put my pink in because I want that to be my trim line. And it's going to be easier to see. How'd we do with that? So many different ways to do this. I think it's easier to use this than it would be the regular hoop because you have to do the whole thing, and this you can kind of manipulate a little bit. So here we go. Oh, you know what's not on there? My very top. No, he's on there. He's good. All right, here we go. Might have to just grab that fabric in the back and just pull it taut so it doesn't fold over. That's okay. This right here, see how it's coming forward a little bit? So just go ahead and from the back, just pull it a little bit taut. You're the boss. Doesn't look like I'm threaded here. What's going on? Here we go. This is just a placement line, so I'm not going to go back any stitches. I'm just going to let it stitch. And if you want to do this the traditional way, taking it out, trimming it, and then placing it again, you can do it that way. I always like if I can leave my back in one piece and leave my batting in one piece. Again, I'm going to grab this and make sure it's pulled all the way out of the way. All right, it's really rare for me to spray in the hoop, but I'm gonna spray right here right now, just so I can get the batting to stay down. Here we go. And didn't cut. There's my snips. Snips, where are you? I'll just cut right here. What's that? That cut? Okay. Okay, gonna lay this down the center. As you continue on, you're going to deal with less batting, less border fabric, and it'll get easier and easier. Okay, I'm going to give it another spray so now we can just put down the fabric, the background fabric. Uh-oh. What are you doing with them?
Just getting my laundry.
Okay. And just lay this down. Make sure you have an even amount left and right. You can kind of look underneath as you go. Mommy loves you.
Love you too.
Oh my God. I love having Kai home. Well, I mean, I loved having Violet home, but she's gone. She's gone. I hate it. Patrick got her all moved in, and you know, the little things you don't think about, like she's never had to go shopping, grocery shopping for herself to feed herself. So I think she was like, well, what do I get? And like, just, you know, knowing what to get, how much to get, like you forget that was something you had to learn. So I think she was appreciative that her dad was there to kind of ease her in. And he went and like, put together her bed for her. Like he did all of that stuff the dads do. Okay, I'm ready for the tack down. We're going to skip some steps. And I think this will go easier and faster as we move along. So I'm going to go here where we go forward and backward stitches. And I'm going to skip all of that orange because that is the tack down and trimming for the batting. We're going to skip all of the blue. And if you want, you can arrow through. There's just going to be 4 of them. Or 3 of them. And then here, 1, 2, 3. And now we're on the tack down. And remember, fabric is malleable, so it's okay if you get like a little pucker or something somewhere. Hang on, I've got a big icky thing up here. I can see it. Look it. And sometimes you just get that. So that can happen when like the needle kind of pierces the thread and it just cuts, like if it's stranded, it cuts something. So I just trimmed it. Whoops, we gotta hit the thread button again. Okay, here we go. Let's try it again. my thread over to the right. And then we'll change it out to cashmere. Looks pretty perfect. My first one, it was off maybe like 1/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/16, and this one looks pretty spot on. And then we'll do the quilting, and then we'll rehoop. Okay, let's put in cashmere. I got off. Yay! What's new in the shop? Well, hopefully it's been kind of an experimental morning, Carolyn. Is it Caroline? Carolyn. I've never used this hoop before. It's my first time. So I've just been kind of playing with it, repositioning on it. Okay, I'm a little bit high. So you know what I did? I just pulled it back with my finger because you're the boss. And fabric is malleable. So if you see where it's stitching and you don't like it, you don't never want to pull and push so hard against the feed dogs that you knock it out. But I just took my finger and just pulled it back a little bit to get it to fit perfectly. That's okay. You can do that. There. And now it's perfect. I think the other ones will be a little better of a match too. And I'm just going to let it stitch, and then we're going to do the next hooping. Okay, I'd really like to get started with these embellishments too. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to feel next week, if I'm going to be up for doing a sew along. I feel okay right now. But I was a little bit worried if I'd have like the energy for it. So next week is when I really want to start Hello Sunshine and prepping all of that. So I'm going to have to let you know in the middle of this week to let you know what I'm up for. But here is button panel. So this is going to be the first of our embellishments. And you have 4 different ones, and I really think, because I feel like I get in the mode of something, so if I just do the spring one and then I go and do all the spring embellishments, then I have to come back and I have to kind of relearn and figure out how to do everything. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and do all of each one and then move on. And maybe this will be something that, you know, we put in the store. We don't put it up until everything is done. Maybe it's not, it doesn't go up until summer or even fall. Every new skill, you'll get better. Yes, I'm hoping I'm going to get better. Yeah, and do all the borders. Oh my God, Susan, if you just knew like how many things I have sitting here because the borders aren't done and everything else is done. April, you've been doing them each by the season. You know, for my brain, I think I just have to like work through and just do it all. Because then I'll be in the mode. I'll get one where I kind of figure out how to do it, and then the second and third and fourth, I'll be like, okay, I got this. So, we can go ahead and like, while it's doing this kind of stitching, we can do some prep. So, light mesh cutaway. I think I'm going to see if I can just use the muslin again. And the piece block and the main quilt to finish up. Got busy for family time. Yes! I hope everyone had like the most wonderful Mother's Day ever. You deserve it. You deserve to have just like the best, be treated like a queen. Take care of yourself. Because we put, so many times we put everything before ourselves. So I hope yesterday was all about you. Prepare the back fabric piece for each envelope style closure by turning one long end 1/4 inch to the wrong side. I actually brought home this too. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll use my fabric folding pen as well. Let's heat up the iron. So you should have, let's make sure I have my back pieces. So your back pieces, 2 8x3s. Mine might be someplace else because I'm pulling this out and I'm not. This is your background. You should have your background piece, and then you should have your 8x3, which I'm not seeing. Let me find it. We're going to be ready to hoop up in just a little bit too. So let's finish this and then hoop up again. Where are my 8x3s? All right, let's do magical hooping. I think this one will be easier and faster. Here we go. I didn't use all the magnets. I was like, do I have to use them all? Apparently you do not. Where's my little prior upper? This is why I'm not good with tools. Because I pick them up and I move them around and then I don't know where they are. Okay, prior upper. Where are you? Oh, here it is. Found it! Okay, this is the kind of thing I need to put like a big, bright pom-pom on. I'm just taking it off because I found it was too hard for me to scoot it with the magnet on. Not as hard with the smaller one, but the bigger one, it was just too tough. All right, we're going to scoot it up. Don't forget the last one on the bottom. And this was, I want to say about, I'm going to measure it this time. I think I'm going to try and get it maybe about 2 inches from the top. I'm going to take all of this and fold it back. Get it out of the way. Let's scoot it. That's about 1 inch. Let me see. Down a little bit. There's the magnet. And I have about 1 inch on each side. That looks good. Hopefully that's going to be right. Let me peek under there one more time. I do love this. This makes it, just rock it back and it makes it so easy to get it on and off. Try it one more time. A little too close to that edge. On about 1 inch. Arrow. Okay, there's a little bit of learning curve with this. That's okay. Got to be up higher. And you know what? You can be like right in the, you could just use these. I don't have to use the little ones too. I can just use those. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the big ones. Because it's pretty stable. There. Let's fold this down. Hopefully that's nice and even. And then we're going to put one more right in the top. Although, looking at this, I feel like this one's a little further down. So I'm going to just pull up here. This is way further up. I can just tell by looking at it. So maybe that's the secret, is putting this top one on first. Making sure everything's lined up. And then doing the other ones. How's that? Okay. Let's try it that way. All right, learning curve. Okay, I'm going to just go with that. Let's put it in. Let's see what we have. And so maybe we start with the top. I'm going to go ahead and slide my hoop on. slide it on when your foot is centered, so you can kind of scoot it into that one corner. I'm going to fluff the fabric in the back. Last thing you want is for that to kind of come up and be in the way or get folded under and get stitched down. You know, I like to do that by accident every once in a while. It keeps me on my toes. I don't know why I went in there. Oh, look. So it does. It slows you down to 600 stitches per minute when you actually start stitching. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'm going to turn on my projector. Let's check everything. And I don't have everything laying down nice and pretty right now. Remember, projector's going to come in the middle. You're going to move it with your finger. Okay, so it looks like I have to scoot over a little bit. Now you move the design with your arrows here, and you're going to watch it move here on your fabric. So you're not going to see me moving it with my arrows, but I'm going to move it. That's as far over as I can go, which is kind of an issue because I'm not lined up, right? I'm going to go ahead and just take this off. I'm going to scoot it over. I'm going to just pull this over. There we go. That's kind of nice. I didn't have to like take off the whole thing. I just could move that one around. Ooh, that might have pulled it, right? I think it's okay. Okay. On the fly. I can actually scoot this back over. Okay, and I need to move my design up. Maybe there. I moved it up. I'm looking right here. Now let's look at the next one. I'm going to move my projector over. That one looks good. Looks really, really good. Maybe I go up one more click. Perfect. Now I'm going to move my projector all the way over to the one that's all the way. And I'm having trouble seeing it because the whatchamacallit, there. I might just scoot it as it stitches. Looks pretty good. I'm happy. Ready to go. Not too bad. I really, really like this because if you do your snap hoop, you have to take the whole thing off and you can't really just adjust one part here or there. If you do the regular hoop, you have to take it off, unhoop, do it again, and just make sure everything fits. So I feel like this is really great because you can kind of customize. Like here, all I did was take this off, scoot it over just the tiniest bit, and now it fits. So, and I can kind of pull this down the tiniest bit to get this to fit better. So I'm kind of digging this, and I think this is what I'm going to use when I do my sashing. So I'm going to go ahead, pull these back now. Go ahead and pull these out of the way. We're going to do the placement line for our batting. And let's start stitching. I'm going to put my pink back in. Let me put my foot up. This cannot be used at this time. I had to turn off my projector. There's always a reason. Just read what it says on your screen and think. And usually you can figure it out. So Miss Susan, you did all of spring. I couldn't find my 8x3 pieces. So I have to do another search. I don't know where they could be. And you know what? I'm going to put my my little magnet down here so it's not buckly. There we go. Might as well do this one too. Okay. You might need to just pull this back a little bit so it's out of the way. Love it. I wasn't sure how it's gonna feel about it, but I love it. For what I'm doing right now, right? Like there's times I like my other hoops. If I'm just doing straight up embroidery, I love that 7x12 and the 5x7 magnetic hoop. I've just been completely obsessed with those. If I'm doing quilting, I'm gonna go snap hoop. Like I want to just be able to take that top off, the top hoop off, move my fabric and put the top hoop down. I guess it's just having the right tool for the right job. And if you're the girl that has it all, you know, get the hoops, and if not, don't worry about it. You can still do it with just the regular hoops. Okay, I'm gonna gently, I'm reaching from the back. I don't know if you can see my finger here, and I'm gonna just pull this back a little bit. Just keep it nice and taut so it doesn't get stitched down and make like a fold in the fabric. When it gets to the quilting, that's when I'm gonna resume my search for my 8x3 pieces, which I know I cut. That's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna just pull this forward a little bit so I have like a little more access, and I'm gonna do some spraying. But if you're like crazy with spray and it's going everywhere, please don't do this. Just go ahead and slide it off. You don't want to get anything on your machine. Spraying is my superpower. And just spray nice and light. You don't want to get it all. Okay. I'm going to lay this back. One spray for the batting. And I never worry about it being totally perfect because it's fabric and we're going to sew it all together, and it's not like we are doing precise piecing right now. It's not like we're making flying geese and we need all of our corners to be lined up perfectly. This is just your border pieces. If you see dark pieces of thread, get them out of there. You don't want them to shadow through. Okay, looks good. I'm going to give this another douse of spray so that we can lay down the actual fabric. Just center it and lay it down. Here we go. You can see underneath, and just go nice and slow. And just make sure you have the same amount on the right and the left. It doesn't have to be perfect. They've given you an extra ½ inch, so there's, which I love. I love, 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 love that they did that. Because I would always forget to do it when I cut. I know some of you already did that, but me, no, I wasn't doing that. Don't worry about puckers here. You're going to press all of that out. It'll look beautiful and seamless. Don't worry. It'll all be perfect. It's amazing what best press and an iron and a wool mat can do for you. And last one. We're going to do our tack down. Do that tack down in the same, like whatever color. but a color that you can see because you're going to trim to that line. And then change out your thread for the quilting. There we go. Looking good. Okay, I'm going to do the tack down. Slide this back on. Here we go. Let's advance our stitches first. So I'm going to go down here where we go forward and backward stitches, and I'm just going to touch in my turquoise because I want to get to that orange there. I'm going to wait until I see the orange here. For my tack down, we're skipping the batting because I cut it to size, and we're skipping the placement for the fabric just because we just kind of centered it to the batting. Now I can see what's on my screen, and I am ready to go. I want that pink stitch to kind of be above the other one. I'm going to manipulate my fabric a little bit. I'm off a little bit, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll trim to it. Nobody's going to notice. Get it as perfect as you can. You don't want to be sloppy, but it doesn't have to be like scientifically perfect. Yeah, I love it. I'm off probably about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or something like that. And it seems like as we go, it gets closer and closer. Has said the pop rulers fit in it. Oh, you know, I'm going to put it on the calendar, but we are going to be doing that sew along, and we're going to do the large zippy bags. So I just got I got most of it in. Whoop. I'm seeing no thread connected. Let's check. Yes, the zippy bags, the large one should fit. Oh, it didn't fit. The biggest one didn't fit? I wonder if it is dependent on which zippy bags you do. I'm going to have to check with, because I think Karen put all of hers in, but I could be wrong. So, let's see. I'll have to ask her. Because she came in with her zippy bags, her pop rulers all in a zippy bag. I was like, no way. All right, let me go back some stitches because you do want this tack down. So right here, I like to go back 10s. 10, 10. You see where it is right here too? I'm almost at the bottom. There's a little locking stitch there. That's good. I don't have to do all the lock. We'll do some of the lock. Here we go. Which zippy bags did you do? Oh, is the original? I'll have to check with her and see. Maybe it was zippy bags too. Maybe it was a little bit bigger. Maybe not. Maybe Karen made it bigger. I have no idea. We'll check. I'll ask her. Yeah, that kind of dragged. It went around a thread. It's okay. All right, let's go ahead and do our quilting. I'm going to change my thread back out to cashmere, and I'm going to look for my 8x3s because if we could at least start those little button panels, that would be nice. If not, I have some more coconut cream here. Coveted coconut cream. All right. Oh, that's perfect. Let me see if I can find my stuff. There they are. Right where I didn't expect to find them. I was starting to panic a little bit. Didn't want you guys to know. What panel is that for the zippy bags? I must have missed seeing that. If you just go on to the website and just look at zippy bags, and there's 2 different panels. There's a 3rd one coming out, but it's not going to be out until like September or October. So I have zippy panels 1 and zippy panels 2, and they're Lori Holt, and they're super cute. I think, do I have mine here? Maybe I can show you. It would be in my UFO pile. Ow, I have a big one. Let me see if the things fit in there. Goodness, it's so cute. All right, so this is Zippy Panels 2, or at least this one is from Zippy Panels 2. I did this as a sew along last year, but I think we put it on the calendar to do this for I want to say June 25th, but I just need to make sure that's going to work. What we did is we did like just quilting, just regular quilting on the sewing machine. I used variegated thread to do that, and I used a quilt bar, I think, or I might have used the guideline markers. Comes with the cute little tabs that you put on. I do not know why I put a safety pin through here, but this one, oh, so when I lined mine, and I just used whatever fabric I had. We're selling it with the zippers, so you can get Zippy Panels 2 with the matching zippers, and I just chose fabric in my stash that matched. I finished mine, I quilted it, and then I finished mine on the serger, but I think Karen's going to do it so you have even prettier edges. And I think the Zippy Panels, like when you buy them, they come like this. And I didn't finish cutting mine apart. Like this is another one of the large bags for Zippy Panel 2. And it tells you what color zipper you're gonna wanna use. And let's do the moment of truth and see if my thing fits in there. Of course I didn't finish. Oh, look at this one. I even have like the zipper here, and I just didn't put the back on. Jeannie, what's wrong with you? Why can't you finish anything? Here's the big one. Oh, he fits. So this is almost like perfectly, like a glove. So, and this is from Panels 2, so I'm going to have to check Panels 1 and see, but those are all of my pop rulers, and they fit in this perfectly. Yeah, they just fit in here absolutely perfectly. So that last one, you know, you do have to pull this like this aside a little bit, but like a glove. So I guess to be sure, and I'll take these to the store and check my Zippy Panels 1 and just make sure it fits in the thing. But maybe it's the 2. Maybe you have to have the 2. And I only have like 15 of those panels and sets at the store, so I'll order more of those just to be sure. And we'll check the panel 1 before we put it all up. Here are my 8x3s. Found them, not where they should be. And here's all my cutie patootie fabric ready to go. So to prepare these, because it says envelope style closure, it wants you to fold it under 1/4 of an inch. Like what I like to do is I like to use my hot ruler. My hot ruler, you so good looking. You so hot. And then I just use a little best press. So I'll like spray the edge of it, and then I'll just fold it under. So we could go ahead and, do we want to do these for all of them? I think we're doing it for all of them. Let's just do it. My thing is stitching right now still. It's almost done with the last one. Uh-oh, if I have to order more. Can I tell you, I did my order with Riley Blake. They're the ones who said, yes, you're getting the last 40 Miki Kim panels, and then I got none. So mad. And then I'll just tickle it over to 1/4 of an inch. So hot rulers are really great. If you don't have it, I definitely recommend having them for your stash. They're I don't know what it is, but they're like kind of fabric coated. It's almost felty, but they're nice and thick with marks, and you can iron on them. So if you wait a minute, I just did 1/2 inch. Not sure if that's gonna make a difference. Let me go ahead and press that out. Was not paying attention. It did pull a little bit. So let me go ahead and just. Or should we do our I brought home my folding pen. Where are you? Beautiful folding pen. I don't know where I put you. Okay, let's rehoop. And I will just do this in a minute. We'll come back to that. It's beautiful. I don't even know how far I have to stitch. I think this is going to be, it'll be less than, because it's 60 inches total, right? And we're going to take off 3 off the top and the bottom. So we've got, 54 inches, and this is 1, 2, 3 hoopings so far. So I'm just going to do like the whole thing, I think, just to make sure it's long enough. All right. The center one is, I'm almost done with that center one. I should have done long and then center, but I didn't. Okay, let's pop these off with your lifter upper. There's no way I could get the top over the ruler to zip it closed. Could it be because I used Fuso? Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe, and like I really didn't add more than whatever. That was like 1/4 inch. So I think you just have to be like stingy with your seam allowance with that. Because I'll check and see. Remind me if I don't. Like send me an email, Susan, and I'll check to see if it's the same size. Because that could be it too. Because did you see, like when I put it over, it was snug. It was like barely. Here is my biggest ruler going into the zippy bag. And like this is as far back as I can bring my zipper here. Oh, and you have the, and then, it's here, let me show you that again. It's not a ton of room. It's like just fits. And then inside the bag, if I pull it over, I've got like about an inch, probably 1.25 inches. So not a ton of room. So if you're not stingy with your seam allowance and you have like something really thick in there, I think fusible fleece would have been fine. Okay. Now what we've learned is we're going to do the top. And by the time I do my borders on the next project, I'm going to have forgotten. That is how poorly the mind works on my body. My mind. My mind is no good. And I'm going to clip that top so that it doesn't, I don't have any issues. Let's clip it. I'll clip it right here. I love these. These come in so handy, and these are the extra large or the large clover clips. They're Wonder Clips too. They're just the big ones. Okay. One more hooping of this, and maybe a little bit more. I'm going to hoop this first, that top, and then I'll flip my fabric back. Because what I'm learning is these need to be nice and even too. Have that even. They need to be nice and even. Just below this the silver here. And this clip. How even are we? Oh, that looks, oh, that's two. 1, 2. Oh, it's 3 down. No, 4. Oh, no, 3. 1, 2, 3. Too high. And that's way too high. Okay, this is teaching me a little something. I need it to be a little lower on this side, on the right side. Even on the left and right? Yep. Three and a half, 3.5, and 4. Three. Not too much. Okay, that should be perfect. Now I know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to do my sides and the bottom. Or maybe I'll just do the bottom now. Flip this back. Feeling good about the hoop. Loving it. As long as you have a little room to wiggle, right? As long as you have a little room to move your hoop left and right. I feel like I'm rocking and rolling with this right now. Okay, let's take it to the machine. So for me, what I'm learning is put the top one on, make sure it's even, get these on. As long as you have a little room to move it left and right, up and down, you'll be good to go. Oh, I worry that I'm too far down, but we'll see. This might be too far, but okay, that could be a problem, but we'll see. I'm going to put it on the machine and we'll turn on the projector. Here we go, and then we'll get back to pressing for our button panel, multitasking, and then I'm going to go upstairs and cuddle my baby boy. He's so cute, and he's been so sweet. My baby boy is 18, by the way, but he's just, I can't believe how big he is. I don't know if you ever stand next to your kids, and you just remember them when they were so little and you used to pick them up and swing them around, and then you look at them, they're giants. Oh, good. Okay, that's good. So this is good to know. I have to measure. I have to measure to go, okay, how far down can I go? But I need to scoot it a little bit down. So I'm using the arrows on my screen. Hopefully I have room. There we go. That looks good. I need to move it over to the left a little bit. That looks good. And let's check the other ones. Move your projector on your screen with your finger. Bye, Miss Susan. Thanks for joining. Is anyone even stitching? Are you guys stitching with me today? You're probably like, no, because I didn't even know what you were going to be doing. That came out great. So happy. Love it. Super excited. I'm going to say okay on my screen because I love that. And now I'm going to move these out of the way. And I'm going to do my placement line. And I'm just ecstatic with this hoop. The only thing I find limiting is the size. Like, I don't want to do 10-inch all the time if I don't have to. I like to do the 14-inch, but I like the way I can kind of adjust with this. I really find that to be, I like that. I can see that. I find that easier than like, when I'm using my snap hoop or the regular hoop to do this, I'm kind of more guessing. And then, I don't know. I'm really enjoying this. Okay. Placement for the batting. I'm going to just go ahead and pull this out of the way so it doesn't stitch. You can't let it stitch that seam. If you do, it's going to stitch a crease in your border strip. April, how far along are you? Are you done with spring? Are you still working on spring? Okay, I'm gonna grab this one too. Just pull it out of the way. I saw somebody posted, they were posting about the little pennants and how hard they were to turn, and so I felt so lucky that Kathy told us, were we using tear away? We're going to tear it away, right? I have to look at my notes, but I felt so lucky that she gave us those helpful hints, because I think people have really been struggling, like turning those right side out. Okay, grab that fabric, pull it out of the way. Whoop! I see a little shred there. Every once in a while, I'll get like an icky. I'm gonna cut that. Look at that mess. Let me bring this down. It could just be time for a new needle too. Here we go. Pull it out of the way. I'm also going through spray adhesive. That can do it. Lots of reasons. The last resort is to go, oh. Whoop. Uh-oh. You know what's happening? My fabric in the back is pushing it up. Hang on. I just need to bring this forward so I can get this out. Let me unclip this because it got bunched up and it pushed up the hoop, and told them I needed a bigger hoop, but I don't. Why am I over here? Okay, let me just finish up my placement line. All right, let's spray and put our batting down. And I think what we do for our last hooping is we do the 7-inch, and we don't do anything bigger than that for the last one. So I'm going to do 50, and then I'm going to bring this forward. Hang on, let me move this so I can see better. How are you doing? 12:21. This might be just the borders today. And then maybe I'll film the button panels. Film that and just load it later. Okay, one more spray. I'm going to lay down the top part. Here we go. Equal amount of fabric on either side. Pull it taut and lay it down. Make sure there's no icky threads showing underneath. I don't know. How long do you think that hooping took? That wasn't that bad, right? Are we getting faster? Am I getting a little bit faster, hopefully? Okay, ready to go. Let's do our tack down. Slide your hoop back on. Fast forward. Right now I'm on batting tack down. So I'm going to go down here where I go forward and backward stitches. I'm going to touch in the turquoise. And then I'm going to fast forward here until I see my tack down, my fabric tack down. Here we go. So April says you're putting my pennants in the satin ribbon. Is that something you're doing that's different, or is that like what you're supposed to do? Is it go on satin ribbon? Obviously I'm not there yet. So cute. I'll actually get this one done because the borders will be done. I'm not a lover of binding, but I don't hate it. So that won't hold me back. Maybe I'm just gonna get this done. We'll get it hung up. And then I'll add the embellishments as I go. I like that this can be a in-progress project. And I'm doing all the seasons for Oh yeah, April, just send me an email and let me know if you got, because I have two different spreadsheets for Hello Sunshine. And then I don't have a spreadsheet yet. There's no spreadsheet for Hello Sunshine yet. What I have for Hello Sunshine is the just the fabric requirements, and then Kathy Boland did a spreadsheet for us. So yes, so I'm gonna be sharing that. Like, Kathy was nice enough to do that. I'm so excited because I was like, oh my god! And I think she did all of the like quilting designs to use and everything. Okay, I'm going to take this out. So I have not done a spreadsheet for Hello Sunshine. Miss Kathy Boland did it. Takes a village sometimes, especially with projects like these. Here we go. Let's do the quilting. So I think if I had been on the ball and knew what I was going to be doing today, I don't think this would have taken us quite as long. But there was a little trial and error, just even with stitching it all together. I I don't think she posted it on Facebook, but I just wanted to take a quick peek at it, and then as long as she's okay with it, and I think she is, I think she did it for the group, I'll go ahead and post it. Oh my goodness, that was perfect. This is hooping number 4. So I have a 5th hooping, and then I'll do another 7-inch. Alright, while this is doing that, I'm going to go ahead and do some pressing. Where's my folding pin? We could be just put a little bit of this at about a, you know, I feel like this is my second one that I had one of these. And I used to use these with my kids. We would just fill them up with water, and then we would watercolor with them. But now they have it multi-purpose, right? Let's see if this is, yes, it's open. Yeah. And then you can buy more of this solution. I don't think the explanation for the quilting of the borders was great in this book. I definitely needed this demo so long. Well, you know what? If you look at the explanation in the quilting instructions, what they have you do is they have you quilt, and then they have you fold back and cut. You just cut it and trim it all, and then you do the same thing. Then you do a placement line and you place it. This is really different than what's in the quilting instructions. So, you know, and it might not, I think a lot of people, I've experimented so many different ways. I think there's lots of different ways to do the quilting. Do you just squeeze it down? I guess I should look at the instructions. Okay, oh, mixture of water and marking solution. Okay, let's put some water in here too. Sorry, missed that. It's been a while since I used this. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay. Fill a mixture of water and marking solution. I did like this much. It doesn't say exactly what ratio to do. So I probably did 1/3 of the solution and then the rest water. And that's all your instructions. I think it just says push right here on the pen to kind of move it down to this like little pad part. So it gets wet there. And then I think you can just kind of, probably around 1/4 inch. Let me heat up my iron. I'm just guesstimating my 1/4 inch. And I'm being messy with it because I'm so used to just using the using my best press. Then we'll just fold it over here. I think the ironing defeats the whole purpose, but because you should be able to just fold this, right? Oh yeah, look, it's just folding over and staying and looking really beautiful. but I still think I'm going to press it. Pin the hem and top stitch. What? I have to... Okay. When I do this stuff, I do not do all of this. I just go to my machine and I just roll it over twice and I just sew it along. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to go through all of this pressing. Sorry. Just reading the instructions as I go. I just fold it twice and then I'll just stitch it on my machine. Since we have to all do all of these, I'm going to just chain piece them. So this is going to go to the wayside for right now. Hello, Miss Cindy. Yeah, a lot of people, I think they use their folding pens. They'll use it in the hoop. Do you use that? And when they're doing flip and fold for Kimberbell, they'll use the little pen. I'll keep mine by my machine and I'll try it for the next time we do those. And we are almost done, and we're going to be almost ready for another hooping. Hasn't been too bad, has it? I think we've kind of gotten it down. I'm just going to have to remember in my head, top magnet first. Top magnet first. And if you don't have this hoop, it's okay. You could just go ahead and you can do it the traditional way. It's kind of nice to do it like this if you do have this hoop. Okay, I'm going to bring this over here. We're going to re-hoop. Top magnet first. Yeah, I mean, we got this. This hoop came in with upgrade 1. I still haven't done my upgrade class. I know. So I haven't been using it. And I've been wanting to do it for the borders. I've been wanting to use it for the borders. I love this. It makes it so easy to get it off. If you're trying to pry it off, it's hard. Those magnets are on there and they're on there tight. Here, wait a minute. Oh, I was like, oh my God, I stitched it down. I keep forgetting this bottom magnet's on there. I had a full-on panic attack for a second there. Sorry. All right, we're going to scoot this up. This, I folded up and I wonder clipped it and it got caught underneath. And that's when it told me to switch to a bigger hoop because it was pushing the hoop up. So maybe if I clip it further back, it'll be okay. Let's do that. One more hooping for the top one that I'm going to cut in half. And then, I'm still going to have to do 2 more hoopings on the other one. I think it's 54 inches. I'm not positive, but I think the math will make it 54 inches. Okay, I like this down to be in the metal a little bit. I'm just looking here to make sure I have about 1 inch on either side. And is that too far down? I think that's good. I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to adjust as needed. And I'm just measuring to here, and that is about, I'm about 1/4 inch from the bottom. Ooh, 1/4 inch. Uh-oh, 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to pry this up a little bit and just pull this right one down just a tiny bit. Now let's see. Whoop, this one. A little bit too much. This one's 1/4 inch and that one a little bit too much. And then once you get this top one, then you're good. Yes, 1/4 inch. Okay. That's 1/4. That should go down a little bit. Okay, I'm happy. Were you just looking at my head that whole time? I hope not. Hope you were watching that. Okay, top one first. Make sure it's even. Now I'm going to do the sides and the bottom, and we should be good. Yeah, a lot of people got this hoop when they got upgrade #1 for the Luminaire and Solaris. So if you haven't been using it, which I haven't been, I actually think I just took my hoop and just left it at the store for classes, and I never even brought mine home. So look, check me out using all the magnets. That's right. You just saw that. All right, I'm gonna go. So how long did that take? That might have been, did that take me 5 minutes? But it's worth it. Saves me time in other areas. Because I always go, is there an easier way? Like, should I just sew the borders on? But then you don't have the batting in there. It's not all even like it is with the rest of it. Because I think what would really be easy would be like just to sew it all together. And then you could just drop it in with your projector and just add the stitching. Just do clear blue tiles with it like all layered. But then then the batting's not all the same. It's not all even. So if you want it all even and you want this to be pre-quilted too, you kind of have to do it this way. Okay, I'm going to turn on my projector, dunce cap, in your layout screen. Don't look for it in your edit screen, your main edit screen. You're not going to find it there. Move your projector with your finger. Okay, whoops, this needs to be down. What am I doing? This needs to be down. I'm not ready to flip it back yet. I'm a little too far up. Uh-oh. I don't know if I'm going to have room. I don't have room to go down because remember I had it, yep. So I need to adjust it because I don't have quite enough room. I could shrink it. Like if I just shrink it 2 clicks, then I don't have to rehoop. But, so this was too far down. I need it up just a little bit. Right here, might as well just get it down. Okay, let's see how even I am on the other ones. Need that to come down just a tiny bit. Okay, and then the last side. Last side looks perfect. Okay. Had to do that on the fly, and it just was easier for me to just do it on the machine. All right. Okay, I think we're good. Let me just check these one more time. That looks good. Let's check the middle one. Looks okay. I'm going to bring it down into the right a little bit. And then let me go here to this one. Perfect. And check that first one again. Perfect. Okay, we're ready to go. So I'm going to do my placement line first. Let me fold these back and we're going to do that. I'm going to put my pink back in. And can't be used at this time. Turn off my projector. Foot up so I can take my thread out. I feel like I've done this every which way. So there's other videos where, like the very first videos where I do it the Kimberbell way, which, you know, they want you to do each section and then we're going to cut right under. I guess I can kind of describe it. Maybe I should do one. Maybe next time I'll do it with one of the other ones. I'm just always looking for the easiest, best, most accurate, and quickest way. What I'm finding is I don't think there's any real quick way. Okay, pull this back a little bit. I'm like right there. So if you have this 10" by 10" magnetic sashing frame, and I think this is like a true sashing frame, I'm actually, one of my hesitations was just dealing with the magnets, and I'm just finding it super easy to deal with the little prior upper tool. So it's a good size hoop to have. I really like the stability of it. Like, I like how strong these magnets are. They're not going to shift and move around when you're using them. Okay, I'm going to reach back here, pull the fabric back a little bit. And make sure nothing is tucked under. You don't want your previous embroideries to be flipped underneath and have those being stitched down. Just a little bit, just so I can not be spraying all over everything. All right, I'm gonna bring this down. Oh, baby girl's crying outside my door. Oh, look at it's right where the seam is. Okay. I'm going to give it another little shot of spray. There's not much here with this one, so I'm not going to spray all the way down. I would let her in, but she's bound to be naughty. And when I let her in, she takes up the entire seat. And then I have no place to sit. And if you know me, I love sitting. Okay, here we go. Let's slide that back on. We're going to have to skip some steps. We're going to go right here. We're going to skip all of the batting tack down, all of the placement. I'm going to touch in that turquoise though. And then I'm going to push here forward until I get to my first tack down. We're ready to go. Oh my goodness, doesn't it feel good to be done with borders? No UFOs for me. Like I said, I think 54 inches is going to do it for us. So I should have just enough. Okay, here you have to be careful because we're going to go off the fabric. You can just stop it. Why don't we just stop it once we go off? I think I'm going to need all of this because I started a little bit low. I'm going to go ahead and, let me go ahead and hit my cut button, cut on demand. Now I'm going to fast forward to right here. So it's going to be right about here. I'm going to be watching my green little cross. And I can look over here and go, okay, I want to go a couple more stitches. Okay, we'll start it right there. That was what, 29.17? There we go. Or you could have just stitched them all, whatever you want to do. You've got options. So I can do one of two things for the next hooping. I could load two, like a 2x7 and a 2x7 over here. I could leave. We should do that. Let's do that because it'll be easier. We'll have lots of room to move our design up and down the hoop if we want. Okay, I'm going to take out my pink and I'm going to put my cashmere in. Poppy, wait, baby. Mama's almost done. I can't stand the crying. I can't stand it. It's like hearing a baby cry. I don't want my baby crying. Perfect. Beautiful. We're going to have to be careful over here because that foot going up and under that fabric sometimes can get caught. So I'm going to just stick around for that part. We could get ready with our hangers. So if you want to add them, where's my fabric? So they had you cut some fabric to make them. I think this is it right here. And where are our instructions? Borders, sewing it together. Here's our borders, quilting. Okay, here. Additional tie instructions. Ties can be added to hang the quilt from a quilt ladder or similar display. So what you're going to do is take your fabric, fold one end of each. Tie fabric strips are 1/2 inch to the wrong side. Okay, here it is. So it wants you to fold that in 1/2 inch on the sides. Press well. Fold each strip in half. So you're going to press these 1/2 inch like this. Then you're going to fold this in half. And then you're going to fold these to the half line. Should I do one so you see it totally done like this and this? And then you're going to fold it over, and then you're going to top stitch on the long edges. Top stitch here, top stitch here. Let me go ahead and turn on my iron. I'll just give it a little shot of spray on the edges. Oh, this is the one where we have to watch it, because we're going to go off the fabric. It's looking good. Join doesn't look that bad. These are kind of nice because they work in sections. Sometimes they'll come all the way down on one side and all the way up on the other. So once we get past this, we can kind of stop it. We'll do the very top part. Cut, and then I'll just go back up on the other side. I'm just going to go plus 10s, plus 10s. That's the bottom part. We don't need that. Okay, we'll start here, but this is what we have to be careful of. The part that you really have to watch out for, and we're good now, is when your foot comes from the right side, whoops, we don't need all of that, and goes on there, that's what you have to be careful of. The back of the foot usually goes up over the fabric, but sometimes you have to be careful that it pushes it back and it scoops it. Okay, I'm going to fast forward, and we're going to come over to this part. I'm just going to hit plus 100, plus 100. So that's too far. I'm going to go minus 10s until I'm hitting minus 10s. I don't know if you want to see it. And now I'm going to hit plus 1s until it bounces. There we go. Now we're right where we want to be, and hit start. And we're going to let this whole side stitch out. And this piece here in the middle, we're going to trim that down, cut it in half, and that's going to be the top and the bottom of the border. What is a good marking pen that won't reappear later? I love friction pens, and I know that they can reappear later if it gets cold, but I find that if I steam it down into the layers, I don't really have that issue. The other pen I absolutely love is, where are you? Maybe I took it to the store. I love my tool purpose. I can't find mine, of course, but it's if you go on our website and just put in dual, And I think it's made by Tritz, but it has disappearing ink on one side, it's purple on one side, and Mark Be Gone on the other side. And I love that. Michelle Burt was the one who, I think she uses the Mark Be Gone all the time. And I've never seen it come back, but hopefully it doesn't. Like I love the disappearing ink. It's just not there the next day. So that's like one of my favorites. I think it's made by Tritz. I wish I had it and I could show you, but it looks as though I've lost it. But I use that one a lot. A lot. I'm so excited. We're gonna do one more hooping. Okay, almost done. It's so much better for me to do this with you than by myself because I would have gotten so bored. Doing it with you, I'm just like talking, we're hanging out, having fun. Doing it by myself, I'm like, oh my God, when is this going to be over? All right. If I had thought about it, I would have hooped these two next to each other, but I didn't. And oh my goodness, we have just enough, I have just enough muslin to make this work too. All right, let me get my popper upper. That's this thing. Popper upper. I'm going to scoot it up. I always forget this bottom one. Let's scoot it up. Let's roll this over one more time. Clip it. Okay, we don't have to. I don't have to scoot it up all the way. And it's going to be beneficial for me to put the 7-inch one in because I am out of, and I'm out of this, but that's okay. I need 4 inches. That's all I need. So I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom one first. Or you know what? We have to start with the top to make sure everything's even. Start with the top. I'm going to scoot this down so I have more room. About 1 inch on each side. Let's measure and make sure. I can tell right now I'm too far on this side. I'm just like learning I can really manipulate this hoop the way I want to. Let's see how far down. And I'm just measuring from the top to the corner. And I'm a little more than 1/4 inch there. And same on this side. So it looks pretty good. I'm about 1 inch on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and just do the bottom so that it's nice and taut. And I kind of have to pull this back. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and do all the sides. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and hoop up. I'm going to put the sevens in. But before I put the sevens in, let me put this on the machine. I'm going to leave my 10s because I'm going to put my 7s on top of my 10s because the spacing will be right. And then I won't have to like guesstimate. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I will show you what I mean first. Because these already are spaced evenly with what I've been working on. I'm just going to go, okay. I'm going to go return, that's where I can add designs. I can't add designs on my layout page. So I'm going to hit return. There's my add button. So I'm going to touch add. I'm in my upper USB. Come on. Did you not like that? Hang on. Seems like I've been having to reboot. Let me turn this on. I'm going to have to take my hoop off. Let me just take that off right now. I just slid it off. 7. It's almost lunchtime. Okay. Oh, it'll resume. It should resume. Did you not resume? It didn't resume. Okay. That's okay too. We're going to load our design. Where am I? Quilting through the season. And background quilting. And I'm doing the border. Embroidery. And I'm going to go ahead and add the 2x7 because I don't need to go any further than that. Set. And I need another one of those. And it's going to be over here somewhere. But let's go ahead and I'm just going to take a picture. I'm going to scan what's in my hoop and then I'll place it. So you have so many different ways you can have perfect placement. I'm going to slide my hoop on. And I'm going to hit my camera button. And I'm going to hit scan. If you've never used your camera before, you should, because it's so wonderful. It's going to take a picture of what's in the hoop. There we go. And you have contrast, because I can't really see my old design, so I'm going to increase my contrast. I'll increase my magnification, and with the hand I can move this over and then I can place this one. So I can see the top of it right up there. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm just going to go ahead. I have to turn the hand off so I can move the design. And I'll just move this one right. So use your finger for general placement and then your arrows for precision. And my fabric's a little bit askew, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate too. Let me rotate. I'm going to line up my this with the fabric. Yes, Kai?
I create the dog's bagel to get some time.
Yeah.
I need to leave soon. Do you want me to just leave them?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Okay.
Create them.
Okay. And then also,
Thanks.
I found some PDFs that I might need to fill out for my dog's appointment. But
Do you need help?
Sure.
Give me 2. I'll be done in 5 minutes.
I don't have that much time. I have to leave in the next 8.
I just got to finish this.
Unfortunate. Then I'll go there, and then if I need to fill out more
Yes.
paperwork, hopefully.
Do you want to print them out here?
I don't know if I need to. There's no proper communication for it.
Okay. I think you'll be fine. You can go there and fill out more forms.
I don't know.
Okay? Alrighty. Move. And then I can use the projector in the next screen too to just make sure everything looks perfect. That looks pretty lined up there. I don't know if you're seeing it as well as I can see it. And I look lined up with the fabric. I'm going to just go ahead and say okay. And I'm going to say embroidery. And I think we are ready to stitch. Here, I'll project too. Whoops. I'm going to close that. I want to color group. And here we'll project now. I did do it to the way this fabric was laid out. Looks perfect. Let's check the other side. And that actually, I feel like I could move that one over a little bit. You can't do that in this screen because these are grouped. So if I move this one, that one's going to move too. So I would want to go return to the other screen. This has the red box around it. Move. I think 2 clicks. Okay. Embroidery. Let's use Projector. And I'm going to check that top one on the right. So you have all these great tools. It still looks like it's too far over. I'm going to click it 2 more times. I'm going to go back. Okay. Return. Red box is still around that one. Move. I'm going to move it over 2 more. And embroidery. Layout screen is where your projector is. I'm going to check it one more time. Okay. That looks perfect now. Looks good. All right, I'm ready to stitch. Let's go ahead and do our placement line. I'm going to say okay on my screen. We're going to do placement line for our batting. Let me go ahead and fold this back. Fold that back. I'm going to put in my pink thread. Here we go. Okay, it's going to come all the way over here. Oh, you know what happened? Okay, so I color grouped, but when I left and went to the previous screen, it uncolor groups. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this one. And then I'll do the other one. It's not a big deal, but you do have to redo your color group. You can't just... Every time I go out of that layout screen, it'll undo the color grouping. I'm like, why didn't it go to my next one? Now you know. Now you know. That's okay. Here we go. We're going to fast forward. I'm going to take it to, this is tack down for batting, placement stitch for background, tack down for background. So we are going to go ahead and do this, and then we'll do the quilting. Now, if you had done this in your 14-inch hoop, then you would have had, what, like 4 hoopings. You would have been able to do this. I had to do 6 hoopings. But it's okay. It still looks beautiful. And if you don't have that color group feature, right now is like how you would be doing this. You'd have to go through and, you know, do all the steps. You could fast forward on your screen each time, which could be worth it. Here we go. And then I'll do the right one. It's pretty perfect. All right, you know, it's just one. I'm just gonna leave the cashmere in here. First step is our, oh no, we do have to do that placement line for the batting. So I'll add some instructions onto the spreadsheet for this. Just talking about pre-cutting your batting, how long your muslin needs to be. Okay, let me. So in case you're doing this later on. I'll add it into the spreadsheet. Ooh, here's an icky dark thread. Get it out of there. Don't breathe it. That's why I love using my spray tent. I put it away and it's not near my face. We're going to fast forward. Don't do this. That's the tack down for the batting. We're going to do this. The tack down for the background fabric is what we're going to do. And then we'll do the quilting stitch, and guess what? We are finito. And I'm going to try and do a button quilt panel. Usually I do try to stitch on Mondays. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so great. I'm super excited. And I'm going to sew these on. I don't think I'm going to film that. I think I'm just going to sew it on. All right, here's the quilting. I love it. So, I don't know how we're going to be working out because, like I said, I really want to get started with Hello Sunshine. And I think as long as I'm up for it, we're going to start the cutting next week. Cutting of Hello Sunshine. And then I'm just going to be squeezing in embellishments. Just a couple here or there. There's a chance I might not be, it depends on how I feel next week. And then we have the quilt show coming up. So it's going to be a little sporadic. And what I think is going to happen is I will be doing throughout the summer, I'll be stitching out the embellishments for quilting through the seasons. I'll be stitching out Hello Sunshine. And of course, we need to start mini quilts because mini quilts, everyone should have those. And those are just little bites. But these are your border pieces. You're going to be, you're not going to, I think you trim 1/8 of an inch on either side of these. Let me put down my ruler. My ruler. Because you want, yes. So do not trim on this line and do not trim 1/4 of an inch. You're just trimming 1/8 of an inch on either side, and that'll give you your 2.5 inches. Let me just make sure I'm giving you the right instructions, because I don't want to give you wrong instructions. Let's see. Sew all seam allowances, standard size. Standard size. Measure quilt. Yeah. Trim 2.5 inch strips equal to the width of the fabric. Yes. So 2.5 inch is your final size. And if you measure this, this is a 2.5 inch ruler. You're going to see it, you need 1/8 of an inch on either side of those trim lines. Okay. And then you are going to attach them. You're going to sew your sides on first. Here. The long strips go on first. And then you're going to put on the top ones. and then you're going to be done. You're just going to bind it, put on your ties, however you want to do it. I'll probably do a video because there is some other stuff. So I'll do a video. Here are the little, what do they call those? Those are called your optional ties. So those are going to be there too. And let's see how they have it. I can tell you right now, I am not going to do the optional ties. I'm just going to put the binding on. I'm just not a tie it up kind of girl. I rather just like clip it, or I'd rather have like loops on the back that like a dowel fits into. I'm not a tie it up kind of girl. So it's up to you whether or not you want to do that. Yes, that is not my look. So I have a hanger with clips that I'll just clip on. I'll probably just do the binding, and maybe I'll do the hangers on the back, and I'll show you how to do that too. So we are finito. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to get going. I hope to do some more embellishments, or else I may just jump back into bed. Let's see how I feel after I have lunch. But where's this? Here's this. I'll sew the rest of it on, trim everything up, and we'll attach it. And I will see you hopefully next week. I'll give you an update. And even, I was like, I never sent them anything out. I'm telling them last minute. I'm kind of just feeling like, I have to see how I feel before I commit to anything. But have a great day. Be creative. Make something awesome. Finish this up. And I hope to see you next week.